We are the one, the light in the dark. One heart, one world, one spark. We are the one, together we rise. One dream, one voice, one sky.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Women Empowered Across the World. And this is our podcast. And my hosts with me today are Jackie Zaccoli, coming from Arizona, but her heart is global and she hangs out with me in Africa. And then I have Megan from South Africa, and then I'm Carol Witt, and I'm from Florida, and I am global. I hang out in Africa with Jackie. And then we have a wonderful guest today with us, Rita. Rita comes from South Africa, Cape Town, or outside of Cape Town. And we are excited to hear coaching with a heart. We are excited to hear her story. And I know, because I spent just a little bit of time with her, I know she's going to inspire many. So Rita, come join us.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's a privilege to be here tonight. And Megan, thank you for the invite. Yeah, as we spoke before we started, we all have got a story to tell. And we really, if we look at ourselves and we look deeply enough, I am the story that I'm telling myself. And what is that story? What exactly is that story? Because that story could be that I am the creator of my world, or someone else is the creator of my world. And that is important. That is crucially important, because if I am the creator of my life, I take responsibility for my life, for each and every choice that I take or make, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But if I allow someone else to be the creator of my life, then I don't take responsibility for my life. And sometimes that is where, from my experience, that's where things like anxiety comes from. That's where things like I'm not good enough comes from. My rejections issues that I've got, the procrastination, my perfectionism, all those things comes from a moment where I'm not prepared to look deep inside myself, because every heart has got an answer. If we just prepare to scratch for it, I think it is, I can't remember now, but some lady said, you just need, life is like it's like a golden ball with a lot of mud over it. You just need to scratch till you get to the gold. And that is really what it is about. I specialize very specifically in self-leadership, because I do believe that it starts with me. And before, I go out in the corporate world or in the professional world, doesn't matter. It starts with me. And I can't lead anybody else authentically if I'm not sure who I am. And that is a very big question. That's a very big hurdle today that we battle with. And I've seen it in my coaching clients. They want to be leaders and they want to be executives. But when it comes to understanding who they are, because their understanding is that I am just the ego, if I can put it that way. I am just the ego. And I'm sure you ladies know that when I'm going on that road, there's always a resistance. There's always something that tries to tell me that is not the truth.
Oh, yeah.
You're not the ego. You are much bigger than the ego. But we can't go without the ego. And the question really here is, how do I balance it? if I am something more than the ego, what am I? And then how do I balance the two? And I think also that if you go a little bit into Carl Jung, he actually say to you that you are male and female. And if we understand that when he say that the male is basically your intellectual mind, and the female part is your heart. And we need to get the balance between our mind and our heart. It was very difficult for me to get to that understanding. Very difficult. Because the understanding that I am my ego, I am this thing that I'm actually constructed. Yes, I have to construct it. There's a reason for that being there. But sometimes we construct it for the wrong reasons. And that just creates so much chaos in our lives. And when I say that, I understand it from my own life, from my own experiences, which before I understood all these things, it was a point of view that, why me? Till I learned why not you. Because that is life. I think it's Caroline Myss that say, we are born with an open contract in life. And we've got a choice how we write that contract. Do we play the blaming game while we're writing that contract? Or do I take responsibility for my own life? Am I the leader myself? So, and that's where I'm coming from. I'm going back. I'm coming out of the corporate world. I've been in clothing retail for years, 15 years. That was a a tough ride, but you know what? I've learned so much out of it. Yes, and I've made terrible mistakes. Terrible mistakes that cost me lots of money. But until I understood I am the creator of my world. It was always the blaming game that was played. I couldn't understand why it happens to me. I'm this perfect girl. Why does it happen to me? I've never been naughty. I've never been sinful. Why does it happen to me? And it was really important for me to understand that I am the creator of my own world. So yeah, you know, we do things because we don't want to be rejected. We do things because we want to feel good. We do things because I want to be the hero in someone else's eyes.
Mm.
And the question really is, am I the hero in my own eyes? And 9 out of 10 times we're not.
Mm-hmm.
Very little of us are the hero in our own eyes. Can I be the hero of my own life? And that was a crucial point for me to understand. It's okay for each and every one of us to be the hero of our own lives. I don't need to be the hero in someone else's life. And in the coaching, especially with relationships, I found that when I want to be a hero in someone else's life, it's like having two bottles of water, and the one has got a hole in underneath, and the other one is full. And the one that's leaking out just leaks out all the water, and the other one just keeps on filling it. So who's the hero? I want to be the hero, but the water is just leaking out of me. So it is really the work that I do one-on-one coaching. I spend time with my clients. It does take time to settle down, to open up, to build trust. It does. We all human. But it is so rewarding when that first aha moment comes through. And that first aha moment is the transformation that takes place. And I think sometimes we think that transformation is something very big and very written on a piece of paper with steps A, B, C, D. It's not. It is that very specific aha moment inside here. Oh my word, is that what it is? That's when transformation takes place. And here's the miracle. When that starts happening for wonderful reasons, it also changes your brain. The little connections in your brain, it changes that. And when that starts changing, your mindsets change. You see things differently. You have the ability to look at things not just from one perspective. You can look at it 360 degrees, and it's not going to impact me and my values. So that's the work that I do. Coaching, very much leadership coaching, executive coaching, but starting with self-leadership. Who am I? How do I come? How can I start with myself? And it's not about someone else. It's about me. And the starting point is me. And that's for now. Yeah, you guys can ask me questions, whatever.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, who has questions for Rita?
So I'm going to start.
Rita,
Thank you for that. And I know Rita for a while, to anyone who's listening in, but I just want to ask Rita to give us a quick overview of the processes she used, because what I found fascinating, always being in Rita's company, is just that there's a word she uses to describe herself, and that is nifty. And after quite a, knowing Rita for about 3 or 4 years now, I almost want to call it sneaky. It's almost so, Rita's so good at drawing information out of you and finding that little tender spot and just like tapping it until you decide, okay, I've got to do something about that before, the tapping will stop. So I just want to ask Rita to give us a little more in respect of her approach with her clients, with her coaching clients.
Megan, it's really just listening to what you're saying to me.
Mhm.
It's really just listening. Yes, there are certain words that is important, if we take into account that we have got 5 basic emotions, fear, anger, sadness, guilt, and joy. But all 5 of them have hundreds of babies.
Oh,
And it's my client never use I'm fearful of. My client will say it frustrates me. Or it's those other words that gives you an indication where to go and to understand. And I think the very important thing is, and I've only learned it, I've learned this only now, the last 2 weeks. How do we learn? All of us. Doesn't matter if we learn a new skill. We need to be present in the moment, learning that new skill.
Yep.
We need to work that new skill. And then we need to absorb it. It becomes part of us. And it's the same thing here. If I'll let you go and I'll let you go, and I absorbed it, and you absorbed it. The moment that you absorbed that emotion, yes, here's the miracle. The moment that you learn to sit with that emotion that you have, whatever it is, and there's no attachment to the emotion, it goes. It releases itself. That's the funny part.
oh, yeah.
That is the weirdness. But it is, and I think what Megan with that said, it's our ability to build resilience. And what is it? What is the resilience? It's like a rubber. It goes, I can stretch it. The question is, do I have the ability to bring it back?
Mhm.
Anxiety actually becomes a point where I can't bring it back. It gets stretched and stretched, and I can't bring it back. So it's really just listening to what you're saying to me, Megan. That's all.
Mhm.
And
It
such a
is
good,
all that it is.
thank you, Rita.
Wow.
Love the fact that you listen like you do.
Really? Okay, Jackie has a question. Go ahead, Jackie.
Well, thank you, first of all, Rita, for being so blatantly honest and to really be open about your thoughts and how deeply you went within to find that. Typically, we don't do that here. We just kind of gloss over what your past is. And I was, like what my mother wore the day I was born, you know?
Mm.
So I really appreciate where you're coming from because I think that's so important in the scheme of things. And I preach it all the time. You're 100% responsible for your life. And people, they look at you like, that guy hit me in the car. It wasn't my
Yeah,
fault. Well, the point was, it was how you responded. That's the
correct.
action. And
Correct.
and that is it's a jerker. However, I totally agree with you. Once you take responsibility, it's an entirely different game.
Yeah.
Really is a different game. That no, anyhow. So I appreciate the way you approach things, and I'm sure that your clients do as well. So as a life coach, I am more logistics of the pieces that are in that, so that I can put more pieces in that. Carol and Megan know me enough that I like to connect the dots, but I have to see the dots over here so I can connect them over here.
Yeah.
So that said, and you're out of well, you're not out of corporate. You're now working into corporate where before you were in corporate. So as you're doing that, then, and I appreciate that because they need you more than anybody does. So who are the best people? I'll just get right to the point of what I usually ask. Who are the people who refer those to you? I call them alliances. What kinds of people bring you the most referrals, and that kind of a thing, so that I can kind of get a grip of what that looks like?
Jackie, currently, it's really, if I go straight to the corporate world,
Yeah.
then it's really your middle management people. Those guys that are sitting there ready to move into senior positions. But they still got a lot of self-doubt. Some of them battle to fight. They know they've got the ability, but they battle to get let's call it the promotions.
Yeah.
It's to help those clients pull through there and have the belief that they are good enough to do this. So yeah, it's really the middle management sector at the moment, helping them to step up into the next level of management. In the entrepreneurial side, owners, business owners that needs, help there, that gets stuck. Yeah, that's basically it. It's in the corporate world, that's where I'm working. Business owners,
Yeah.
doesn't matter where you are in the business, whatever your story is, it's fine.
So mostly the owners themselves or the executives themselves, you're not actually going into the entire employee database and working with the whole group.
No, we ran ads and things like that, and there's a whole screening process, and that is more or less the client that comes through, is the middle manager. There's senior levels as well, but it's I am responsible for the more middle management side of that, looking after those people, because there's a lot of those people out there that needs help, because we all think that we know it in some way, and in another way we don't. And especially in the corporate world, you can be manipulated very, very easy. Very easy.
Yeah.
And when that starts, you lose your values. You lose who you are, who you authentically are, because you need to fit in. And that's critical for all of us not to fit in, if I can put it that way. And it's difficult. It's very difficult not to fit in.
So Rita, I really see something about you, and that is you go on a journey with your clients. you're on a journey with them. Like you're not just their coach, but you're on a journey with them. For them, they're kind of like onions, and you peeling off the layers and getting to the really juicy part. But
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
When they cry, I cry with them. You know,
I love that. I love that you are on a journey with your clients, with you, the people. I just feel like they are so blessed to have you as their coach with a heart, because you really and truly are going to journey with them through that whole process. They're not going to do it by themselves. And sometimes that's the hardest thing, is seeing yourself by yourself. Okay.
absolutely. And I think
Yeah.
we can, and I've always wondered, I've read some self-help books years ago, and I've always wondered why those things never worked for me.
Yeah. You're unconventional, dear. And thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's a yay.
Asked, you know what? Reading them, there's always a protection mechanism in the background that protect me.
Mhm.
But when I work with a coach that does push me to let go of that protection mechanism, and basically that's the ego that sits there. It changes. It changes. Now I can go and read a book, and I've got a much better understanding. But years ago, I couldn't do it. It didn't work.
Wow. Wow. Well, I truly believe that anyone that has you as their coach with a heart, and I love that, they are going to experience their highest and best in life.
No, I really treasure my clients, because I still learn each and every day from them.
Oh, absolutely. My students
Just
are my
when
best. Yeah.
just when I thought, you know, I can't, they just teach me something
Yep.
new.
Yep. My students are my best teachers.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love it.
Those clients are.
I totally love it. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on, and I knew it was going to. Megan does not disappoint when she brings her guests. I am telling you now. Yeah, it's just been absolutely amazing to have you on and have you really open yourself up, because you really opened yourself up to how to how you listen to be able to move them forward. You're like you're an act, we call in YEA active listening. And
Yeah.
and emotional intelligence is what you're dealing with.
Yes. For the nice big buzzword, that's emotional intelligence.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It is.
And we need more of you on this planet. So thank you.
That's a pleasure.
Okay, Jackie,
yeah.
you have your hand. Go ahead.
One last question. What do you need?
Oh, yeah.
Who do you need? What do you need right now? What is your challenge that we can help you? Tell me who that other person in characteristics would be good to have on your path right now, besides us.
Besides you guys, I think you guys are the most important guys.
Wow.
Jackie, I'm grateful for this opportunity. And I don't know how much time I've got, but years ago, 5 years ago, I had this weird dream. And the very short of this long dream was that I was on my way with someone else to go and put a billboard up. Okay. And that's all that I'm doing. Putting my face on the billboard. And I enjoy every opportunity that I get to put my face on that billboard. That's what I'm doing, you know. That's what I learned out of the part of it that I learned out of that dream. We need to do that. You know, we need to get our face out on the billboard, because that is important. And thank you, Megan, for allowing me to put my face on the billboard.
Huge pleasure, Rita.
I love
Huge
it.
pleasure.
Okay, I have one last question for you, and that's this. You know, this is going to go out to a lot of people, and I'm hoping it's going to reach a lot of young ears. What is the one thing that you would like to share with young people that are on a journey right now, you know, in the ups and the downs, and early in their lives? What could you share with them that would really have them start being on a path to opening themselves up?
The earlier you start, the better. Don't wait till you're 55.
Start
You
now.
wasted so much of your life. Don't.
Start now. Okay, I got
Start now. Start now. You know, and if you're younger, yes, we are set in our ways and you know, in our how our ego structures are working, but it is a lot easier to change that now than at the age of 55 or whenever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Very
Okay.
difficult to do it. It needs a lot of hard work on yourself to do it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And that is it. Is, you know, who said, I'm not sure who said, I think it's Socrates, but he said an unexamined life is not worth living. And that is something that I have resonated with for a very long time. And I am somebody that examines my life, especially around my mindsets, my fixed mindsets, my fixed ways of being. So I so appreciate that you are somebody that works with people to unravel, take all of that extra clutter that we have packed on ourselves. That's not us, and find the realness
You
underneath.
know that we do it, and it's not us.
It's not us.
It's not us.
No.
We just take on all these things and we think it's us.
Yeah,
And the sad thing is, it's not us.
I know. I know. And when it's not us, it's not authentic. So it doesn't come across authentic in any direction. And it's seen through. People see through it. And you wonder why, you know, why you can't be a certain thing for yourself. It's because it's not real for you. It's not authentic for you.
Right.
Thank you for being that coach out there that really has people get to who they are, authentically who they are.
It is just so, and I'm sure you would agree with me, that when you live in the space of your own authenticity, it just creates so much freedom.
Yeah.
So much. You don't have to remember anything. It's just real. It's you. It's, yeah, I know. I agree.
That's the amazing part of it.
Rita, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been an absolutely pleasure to get to know you just a little bit, because I know there's a lot more about you, but we definitely will be putting you out there and letting people know. And you are taking on new clients, is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, wonderful. But we will be putting it out on LinkedIn and all over the place, letting people know you are out there, letting people know that there is somebody out there that can really help them get to their authentic self. Wow, that's a beautiful thing. Thank you. All right. So, guys, if you love these episodes, please, please subscribe to our channel. Comment, make comments, please. The comments really make a difference. And share. Oh my goodness, share this out to everybody you know so that it can fall on the people's ears that need to hear it. That's what this platform's all about. Women having a voice, women being empowered by other women, and us standing together. And Rita, you have 3 more people that are out, that are there, kind of your army, your cheerleaders. Whatever we can support you in, we're there. Okay.
Thank you so much. Carol, Jackie, Megan,
Mhm.
from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Wow.
That I can put my face on the billboard. That the dream can come true. So, yeah, really, thank you so much for this. I really appreciate this conversation that we could have today, and just the openness about it,
Yeah.
sharing it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Rita.
All right. So, guys, if you want to be a guest on one of our episodes, please reach out to one of us. We're all over LinkedIn. Please reach out to us. It's your story. Please share it with all of us and let us share it out to the world. That is what this platform's all about. So please join us again for another episode of Women Empowered Across the World. And this is our podcast. Thank you, everyone. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye.
We stand as one, there's no divide. Peace and love on every side. No matter where we're from, we know it's true. The world is home.